Welcome to No Mentor. We've got hot takes, weird debates, and absolutely zero qualifications. With your host, Ser Judo
and Psyche. Let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. You can hear us on all podcast platforms and socials at No Mentor Podcast. Let's get into it. No Mentor.
That's right.
Judo.
What's up?
Psychic.
Oh, shit.
We're on for another one.
Yep. Another one. DJ
another one.
Khaled. Another one. Whatever.
Another one.
Can't do it, but yeah. So, haven't really been around. I feel like I haven't been in the church lately. Brother Psychic.
Well,
I feel like I've been kind of not miscellaneous. What's the word I'm looking for?
You're adulting.
Yeah.
I call it adulting and living life, and Is
that what all the missing kids on the sign say too?
Something like that, right?
I don't think they're not living life. They're a little trapped, but
they're a little trapped. But again, this thing's supposed to be for fun, and it's not serious.
Yeah.
So that's why we've been doing an episode a week. They've been out. I've been putting them out every week, so it's not like we're behind or anything.
Right.
So we do this to, just in case.
I'm curious where we're at. Like, how many you got in the bank though?
After last week's, I believe I have 2 left.
Damn,
so
I gotta get on
the third.
I gotta get on the editing. I gotta quit being lazy because I do know, and I'm not. This is no shade to your editing.
No, you're fine.
I think that the episodes I edited sound better because of the effects I'm adding. Because I don't think Riverside's so bad about clipping, and then also like it just doesn't sound as professional. I've noticed
it sounds robotic, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't have a zest to it.
So when you upload that raw file and you put it in any DAW,
yeah.
The problem is and I'm having the same issue on the other side. You know your voice, I know mine, but there's still so much background noise, and that's what I focus on, trying to get it eliminated.
I don't hear any of that one.
Oh, see, I do. Like I can.
But I put presets on. What's the? Let me look in my little catalog of things in my phone. Dude, I haven't edited or done anything podcast wise in so long now. You can fall out of the loop. Like, I mean, it's riding a bike. You get back to it and it clicks. But if you haven't been doing it for a minute, you do kind of like, get a little out of it.
No,
so basically, that noise that you hear, I put on. Obviously, we all use presets and effects, right? Like, that's the filter for voices. But I use the noise reduction, and it's like an adaptive noise reduction that kind of like, well, it's adaptive, it kind of just finds the whatever you call it.
Yeah, it uses
finds
the
clipping
AI to clear. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it kills a lot of the background noise too, like all the fans and all the like, dogs licking themselves. Like it kills all that noise. All the
for
buzz.
The most part, yeah. But when you do the compression, and then the noise goes all the way back up. So like the last episode you did, both of us, we could hear like every little fucking thing because you compress it. Yeah, the last episode that you posted, yeah, it sounded good volume wise, but. So it sounded good volume wise, but there was so much background noise because of all of the processing. But I'm not saying it's you or me. What I'm saying is,
if you hear me clicking, I'm going through my files because I kind of forgot because I think I use more presets now. Complete mix down. That's the
bouncing.
I need like here, I need to pull Adobe up. Well, is that going to kick me out of this, though? I wonder. Let me try something.
Well, you can try it.
I'm just trying to open up, like, what the fuck? Open recent. Yeah, here we go. Like what have I mixed last? Like, we'll just pick, like, episode 6. Okay, so like it looks like what I've been doing is just using those two presets alone, whereas before I was using like a bunch of different shit. Now I'm really pretty much just using a reverb, like a studio reverb, and then I'm using that adaptive noise reduction. But I'm also going in and can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you fine.
And I'm also going in and adjusting the clip, the wave files like manually because some of it's loud, some of it's tiny. That's what sucks across the board. Like when I'm looking at this, the wave file here, when you stretch it out, you can look and you can see it's like the highs are high and lows are low.
Are you
And
not
it's
using compression?
no, I mean, I'm saying even after I use all those.
So you use, because you said you use two effects.
Now I'm just using two effects. So now I'm manually going in and doing the compression myself, which is why editing was taking so long. Because
Yeah,
when I
because
tried to use a compressor before, it was like making it sound fucked up. Like it was I don't know, it was messing with it for some reason.
okay.
So I didn't think the episode sounded bad, but I'm also
No, it
not
didn't sound bad. We have different, like you're looking at like volume. So when you're in your car, and I'm looking at quality, we're both
right.
looking for quality. I'm not saying it's neither against us.
Well, one thing I'm
It's,
not doing is I'm not running it through any studio quality speakers. I'm using some
and,
shitty ass AirPods
and
from
that
like
was,
3
yeah,
years ago.
yeah. And so and you know me with all of that studio shit. So
I try not to get too crazy about it
no,
because it
well,
is to me as long as it just sounds like not robotic and it doesn't have a huge amount of clipping, then I can like it's pleasurable to my ears enough to where I can enjoy the conversation without being
yeah,
like, fuck, what? Or what?
yeah,
Because it's like when you're recording and you're talking and you're like, hey, man, you hear that today? And then you're like, but that happened. It did. And it's like, why did he get quiet out of nowhere? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's where like the compression and the certain there's and the limiter, and that's why it's a lot more.
Sadly, sadly, we don't have like a technician on deck, and I wish, but so we're at our own.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, this is all a growing thing, and this is why I mean I've spent the last 3 months just like
but but what I've always done though is I always corrected in live prior to recording. So, I had a podcast with like a bunch of other dudes
yeah,
and we sit down and we all went around and said, hey, say something. Hey, say something. Hey, and I would check the levels as we'd all speak and I would tell homeboy to turn up his volume or I would say, hey, turn yours down. You're overly loud. And I would try to like match everybody by a sound because some people are naturally louder people than others.
well, yeah,
Some people have a baritone. Some people have I don't know what the other term is, fasado, whatever the fuck, fasado, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody's got their own like levels of voice. So
yeah, and I think the major downfall of how we do it is because the
well, it's
river,
remote,
yeah,
so
it's
you're gonna
remote.
have some kind of
Exactly.
loss there
Like
because
it's
we're speaking like digitally.
yeah. And that's why like when I like record into Logic, it's like night and day. Like I've got it down to it like
Oh yeah, I was gonna say how do you handle it on your end, but that's a no shit answer
that's a
because
no, yeah.
you're using like a whole ass program on its own.
Yeah.
You're not doing this like
Yeah. And I went down I've cut all of my, so I'm only using like compression, de-esser, EQ, limiter. So I'm not using all these like fancy ass plugins. I'm
yeah.
just basically using the standard. So
That's what
I dialed everything back.
That's what I meant to say was plugins earlier. I said presets. That's not
Well,
it. But
yeah, no, I got what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah,
Effects. Like I use Adobe Audition and they call it effects. They don't even call
yeah,
it plugins. So I mean,
yeah. And that's
same shit.
it is.
But
Yeah,
yeah. Anyways, all I was saying was I kind of need to get unlazy and back to the shit. I think you sound good on my end when I after I edit it. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like I'm kind of focused a lot on my voice and fixing my shit,
hmm,
but at the same time, I'm fixing your shit too. And the product that comes out is good. Granted, you're right, there is a huge amount of clipping. So maybe I can do the same edit the way I usually do, and then maybe throw on something else like a compressor
Yeah.
and see
And
if that actually helps.
yeah, that should help. But I'm always looking at um like my volume to make sure that I'm not, because I have that deep, loud
Yeah, you got
voice.
that baritone,
I've
yeah,
got that,
bassy.
yeah, that bassy voice.
All
So
about that bass, about
it's all
that
about that
bass.
bass, baby. But so I don't want to clip at all. So
Yeah, I get you.
that's yeah.
The bet. I don't know. Maybe Riverside's not the move. Maybe there's something better out there.
I've been
I know it.
looking.
I know some like the podcast. Like the artist I listen to, Mike, his podcast. He does it remote a lot, and unless they're like heavily editing it,
They
because I
are.
think I don't know. I feel like they run it live because it's video. So like, how are you? How is that? You know
Well,
what I'm
no, even
saying?
if it's well, so there's different ways you look at it. So they could do a live and then just they're streaming it to a bunch of different platforms, or they're pre-recording it and
Yeah.
they're doing all the editing. I'm sure, unless I'll send you a clip of one of the guys that I listen to, his streaming, and it's like night and day from his streaming live to his like pre thing. It's like
Yeah.
night and day.
Huh.
So and plus when you're talking, I mean, that those guys, I mean,
So how? So
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I don't think anybody cares about any of this, but
I do.
how? Yeah, well, of course. But I was gonna say, how do? So if we were to incorporate video on Riverside, how it detaches itself? It's not
Yeah,
symbiotic,
so
like the
we would,
audio and video.
yeah, no, so they're different tracks. They're still
Okay.
different tracks. So now they would just incorporate the video tracks for you and me.
You know how hard that would be to dub, though. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be that bad. There's a starting point to both video and audio. But
Yeah.
if you were to clip anything out of the audio, it would throw off the
And
time synchronization. So you would have to line it up. You know how
yeah.
complicated that would be.
And that's why I'm sure
There has to be like a bypass, like a quicker method to do
I'm
things.
sure there is. Like, I'm sure you could sync, let's just for instance, I bet you could just sync it up in Riverside
Yeah,
and then export it, because it's already remote, export it to like your video editing software and
yeah,
then just do your touch ups. I'm
yeah.
not sure. I know nothing about video.
So I used to be like heavy into video, and I miss doing video. Video is actually something I prefer over audio.
Yeah.
But even in the video editing process, there wasn't a lot of audio options. Granted, I use a lot of basic video editors, like programs like, but it's usually just like up in the volume. There's not little to do with effects, and plugins for
Yeah.
audio through
Because
video
there's
for
really not
video.
supposed, yeah, with the video, I would think, with the video podcast, I would think it's all about the video,
Yeah,
and then but the audio, of course, has to be there, but you're not doing like reverb you're not
I
doing
would
like all those crazy effects, I'm thinking.
I would like to know like what people on like video like Joe Rogan or just anybody. I would like to know if they're detaching audio and if it's symbiotic or if it's separate. I would like to know that. Is there plugins and edits? They probably have full ass.
They have,
They have a studio, I'm sure.
oh yeah, most of these bigger guys, even like the people with like 100,000 views or 100,000 subs, they still have like outside producers and stuff, and techs and audio engineers and
But
video engineers.
but you also have the more amateur ones that are just using like the iPhone mics, and their shit sounds crisp and clear, and it's video and audio.
Yeah.
Granted, there is clipping. If they get too loud, you can hear the clip.
Yeah. And I think honestly, it all depends on, 100% on the budget.
Right, like we have no budget, so
Well, no, exactly. Well, I mean, we have no budget, but when you're a dumbass and you go out and spend like $5,500 in the last 3 months on different shit to get,
I mean, I think you're primed and ready for more, honestly. Like, I know
yeah,
this podcast isn't necessarily ready for shit, but I think you're pretty much golden to go to the next
I've got,
step on yours.
yeah,
If you got 20 episodes, at 20
19.
episodes,
I'm
19,
recording.
yeah. So you're 20 episodes deep with just audio. I think you're about to level up. I think you are.
I've been looking at crazy. I've been looking at mics. I mean, I'm sorry, not mics. I've been
You,
looking at
you know something that's gonna bog with you and see if is this a deterrent for you is being on video because you've been more of an audio guy your
yeah,
entire
my
life. Like,
entire life.
is video gonna fuck with you like mentally?
No, I love. I don't mind being in front of a camera. It's not that. It's just I don't know. I'm looking at editing. I'm not having outside people record or
I can help you on
well,
video.
yeah, yeah. No, I like know absolutely nothing, and I've been looking at different softwares,
Yeah.
and of course, the softwares for recording and editing for video are much higher.
What did I use? I think I used Sony Vegas was one I think I
I saw
used.
Vegas. I did see Vegas. That's a big one. Da
I
Vinci's
used that.
another one.
I even fucked with Adobe for a little bit because Adobe has their video editing too. Everybody,
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies that have video editing.
Yeah, and that's so what I'm trying to do right now is get I want my audio to be like the best I can make it. So,
Yeah.
I've been putting up for those that are listening, I've been redoing my studio sort of thing, and I've been putting like the
Dude,
sound acoustics or the sound treatment, acoustic treatment. But because my place is all brick, I'm not going to get the best.
acoustic sound.
Yeah, so
You,
I'm as basically SOL until I can actually afford another place to actually build my own like booth.
yeah. You have you have a studio. You have TikTok. You have YouTube, correct?
I have YouTube, I have TikTok,
Why are
I
you
have all
not?
of the
Why are you not showing that studio off? Let's bring the heat. Come on, bring it. Let's see it. Let's get it out there.
so it's a studio apartment with a
You're
home
like, I'm
music
not sharing
studio.
my personal space. Fucker, get
Seriously.
off.
Well, no, I can always take my, what did you say? The back, because I have that background, like, thingamabobber that I use that I was,
Yeah,
so what you said, are you like
shit.
shooting porn in your house now?
Yeah,
That type of
you got
thing.
the Chinese
I got
divider,
exactly. Yes, with,
the black Chinese divider.
yeah,
It's like when they're doing a porn shoot and they put up a wall, like they put up a curtain in the background,
yeah,
to make it seem like it's just one room when
yeah.
it's really a
Yeah,
studio.
and then I have the like the acoustic treatment. One sec.
Okay, okay. Has to be DoorDash. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Uh, this will just be like 2 minutes of me laughing. Yeah, so me and Psychic have a DoorDash addiction.
You have the DoorDash addiction. I have the
What
Amazon addiction.
was it? Amazon?
Of course,
Shit, I didn't call it. I called it. I said that's DoorDash. I guarantee.
dude. I haven't. Speaking of that, I haven't eaten fast food. This is going on my 4th week.
What are you eating then? If you're not eating fast food, if I can ask,
I'm shopping at like stores. I'm
you're
actually going
going.
to like.
You're actually going to a brick and mortar. Or you're like
Well,
using
no,
the
I'm
delivery.
ordering. Well, no, I pay for the service, so I sometimes like. Well, today I had to do something, so I had to pick up some stuff, so I went into the brick and mortar, but I still have an order for a delivery tomorrow.
What are you cooking?
Honestly,
Ish.
cooking ish a little bit, but I'm not hungry anymore.
Was it medicine or just
Yeah,
you just changed your medicine?
no,
Okay.
it was the medicine. Yeah, because
Crazy.
one of the medications, honestly, bro, was it's called mirtazapine, and I've been on it for like 5 years.
What's that for?
Sleep,
Sleep.
sleep and anxiety, and I was on like the highest dose for years, like 45 milligrams.
Yeah.
So literally, I gained like 150 pounds on it over the years, and it's a huge weight gain, and it makes you hungry. So
So I wonder if that affects how do you say this word? I don't want to mispronounce because the word kind of sounds like gremlin, but I know it's not gremlin. Why can't this AI speak this to me? Speak it to me. Like, why is this not a thing? Yeah, I don't know how to
You have the
pronounce.
setting on?
I don't know. It's
There should
weird.
be a setting.
Um, yeah, I don't. Oh my God. I can't, dude. I've been trying to text and type all day today, and I've been just butchering words. I'm just making myself. I'm so glad that phones and so Facebook Messenger and the iPhone, even Snapchat now, you can edit messages, which is revolutionary
Nice.
for me
Yes. For
because
me,
I do typos on the ass, and people think I'm just stupid sometimes.
I see. I don't think I see very many typos from you at all. Now, me on the other end, I can't. I can't spell for anybody. So
Real.
it's
Okay, I know how to
yeah.
say it. Grilling. Grilling. I thought it was like I thought that's not how you say it, but grilling. So grilling, and I'm probably saying that I'm probably
Like
butchering that.
barbecuing.
No nutrition experts come at me. It's G. You can Google this if you want.
Yeah.
GHRELIN. Looks like it's like gremlin. Ghrelin. So ghrelin is the sleep hormone
That
that.
regulates
Yep.
appetite, food intake, and energy
Yep.
balance.
Yeah. And I wonder if that has the effect of that. So basically, like when you wake up hungry in the mornings or whatever, some people wake up and they're like, "Oh, I'm starving."
Mhm.
Uh, that's that hormone that's doing that to you, and it's playing
Interesting.
into your brain.
Yeah.
It's from poor sleep and sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
So that hormone is always like peaking on me because I get little sleep. So I'm always hungry.
And
They always say that you're always hungry when you have little sleep. And you also make poor eating decisions when you're always when that
hungry.
hormone is
Well, yeah.
doing its thing. So
Well, and so for with that, the hunger hormone, like I sleep fantastic. What?
this sounds like a perfect rap album.
Hunger hormone?
Yeah, put that in a bar.
Dude, seriously. Hunger hormone. I'm
Say it
feeling
five
like
times
it's
fast.
hunger hormone, hunger hormone, hunger hormone, hunger hormone,
You
hunger
sound like the
hormone.
hungry hippos.
Hungry, hungry hippos. So yeah, that's the but no, I have the routine is I sleep fantastic. Even
You sleep
so
8 hours?
lately, 7,
He's like,
6.
I sleep fantastic. How much you sleep?
Well,
An
no,
hour.
I do. But I'm not like what I mean is I'm getting a constant REM sleep. Even if it's 6 hours,
Okay.
I'm still getting that. It's not the sleep that's I'm having issues with. It was that
Quantity of it.
it was well, I knew from years of like I never researched the meds before the doctor would give it to me because
See,
that's
that's
why they're educated.
psychotic. I always actually, you're probably in the right to go in blind on medication because I'm the type of individual who will deep dive rabbit hole the shit before I take it. And that'll give me so much anxiety that I won't take it.
Yeah.
I always, I always said that the anxiety medication gave me anxiety before taking it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, and it takes like a month to get in your system, and then they probably tirate you up to the best. Tiration is basically the
The
dose
dosage,
that
right?
works. Yeah, that works best
They
for an
start you high or
individual.
low. I always thought they started you
Usually, they
low.
start you low.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've been in since I've been in this industry and having a field and having people take meds every day, I've learned so much about meds and stuff like that that
Yeah.
you can pretty much even tell with like dosages. It's like, okay, this is
Does it mind boggle you that I'm, the age that I am and have never been on a
nope,
SSRI or anything?
nope. A lot of
Really?
people, like one of my good friends out here,
Yeah.
he will not take any meds.
I'm kind of like that in a way too, weirdly enough.
And the older I'm getting, I'm like, because I'm going down rabbit holes of
Yeah.
big pharma and
Yep.
like are the doctors just trying to sell the med? But I know my the difference in my behavior with on meds and off meds, and it's 100%. It's a 180. So that's the reason why I've been sticking with my medication realm, because I know what it's like not to be on them, and I feel a million times different.
It just takes such a it's like a leap of faith, and I don't know. I've never been a
Oh,
a
dude,
person like that.
there was probably a good 6 months that well they try to once they diagnose you or do an eval on you, that's where they start and they try different medications. And sometimes it could take 15 medications for one
Does
SSRI.
that not like completely fuck with your system?
Well, that's why they do it in low doses, and then they
Hmm.
gradually tirate up. So they have that, so they can see, and they usually get you to come in every month when you start a med to make sure, okay, how is it affecting you and stuff like that.
So every time I went to the doctor, in the past, like they always gave me a depression screening every time. It was, and I don't know if that's common practice. Maybe it
That's
is.
common practice of like, are you suicide? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Are you
No, they like
sad?
legit gave me the sheet though that you fill out.
Yeah. That's not like a psych eval. That's
So, anyways, like I always lied on it every time. I was like,
well, yeah,
I'm not letting these motherfuckers know I'm crazy. So then
exactly.
one time I didn't lie, and I was like, without airing out too much dirty laundry. So I went for an STD check, and I had no STD. Let's get that straight out the gate. I've never had an STD. I've never had an STD check in my entire life, and that's on the Bible that I don't believe in. But I've never had one. And I'm just a paranoid person, so I have a lot of anxiety. So when I have sex with somebody that I deem dirty, you know what? I go get my junk checked. I wait like 3 weeks. I go get my shit checked, because I'm just a crazy person. I'm just crazy. But anyways, I went. This is when I lived in Frankfurt, which is in Kentucky. Anybody's listening, but went to go get checked for STD, and this doctor. She's a female doctor, whatever. Maybe she's like maybe she's not a doctor per se, but what's the level below a doctor?
Like a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, like a
Like
nurse practitioner probably, or maybe she's a doctor. I don't know. Talk to the nurse. The nurse, does all the vitals. Blah 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 blah. And then and then she comes in there and she's like, "What am I seeing you for today?" Like the doctor, and I was like, "I'm just want to get an STD check." And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, I've been having sex with people. You've been having unsafe. You've been having unsafe sex." And I was like, "Yeah." How many partners? You always want to like. I'm like I don't really know. I was like man whoring, right? But I was
right
like,
there.
I was like, I don't know. A couple. And she's like, you've had sex with a couple people unsafely, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I'm getting tired of this. And I'm like, what? She's like, I'm getting tired of this. You young people come in here and you just have sex with one each other. Let me tell you something. What's your name? Ricky. Let me tell you something. She's my first name for some reason. I don't know. It's just part of being a human. But I was like, what? She's like, let me tell you something. You think it's the ugly people that have all the STDs, right? You think it's the nasty people, the people that you think would smell or da da da. You think those people have STDs, right? And I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, I'm not saying anything. She's like, well, you said you've had sex with some questionable people, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, I'll tell you what, it's the prettiest little girls that come in here who have the most STDs. Those are the ones I treat. It's like, I just want you to know that. And she's like, and then she's like, what's wrong with you having sex with people unsafely? Like, what is this? Are you sad? Are you depressed? I don't know. Anyways, this whole situation led to like me getting a depression screening, and then I got prescribed Celexa. I don't know how sex and depression equated in this situation, whatever. Um, but anyways, yeah, they prescribed me Celexa, and I was so nervous to take it, and I was like Googling shit and looking on Reddit, um, that I basically talked myself out of it, and I just gave the pills away. But
Is
yeah,
it CELEXA?
yeah. It has the reason that they prescribed it to me is for anxiety. It
Right.
has anti-anxiety properties.
Yeah, it's citalopram. So it's for depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why if you're going in for a freaking STD check? Plus, she shouldn't be prescribing this shit because she's not a BHMP. You're in there. She's a medical doctor. That's a whole different fucking realm.
No, she sent me to a therapist.
She sent you to a
Yeah.
BHMP.
Yeah. She made me fill out the depression screening. She said, don't lie. I mean, she put the fear of God in me, She said, don't lie. I don't want no more lies. And then I actually filled it out. I didn't lie on it for once. And then that led to me, talking to a therapist. And I guess she deemed I had anxiety, which is not wrong. I do have anxiety. I have a massive amount of anxiety. And that's what they started me on was that. And she was like, let's do but she didn't give me like a low dose. She gave me like a mid dose. I can't remember what it was. But Yeah, and I didn't take it, but no STD though.
Well, that's why you went in. And see, no, this is another thing is
I think she was like a religious woman. I think it was a
yeah, she
religious.
sounded like
I think it was like
Miss Chokes on Dick from
yeah, but I
South
think it was
Park.
like a Baptist health or some shit. So I think it was like more into that realm of like, you know, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, no,
This
no.
was also like years ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's still you're there to
And
provide a
also,
service.
she had she had children herself. Because I remember her saying that like my daughter just entered college. Like, like I think she had like some kind of stig going on. But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
yeah, it's just so
this
bizarre.
is kind of like the relation. Like this is kind of like why I wanted you to do the episode you did about the whole like going to the doctor thing. If you feel like you have an issue and people are too scared to go to the doctor,
hmm
because I do feel like a lot of these doctors throw in their personal lives and their personal opinions into their um what's it called, into
Into
their
their
shit.
prognosis, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
definitely do. I mean,
yeah.
because
Which
they're
is
only human, but
right.
like it's so. And I'll be honest with you, probably up until 5 years ago, I would lie at every BHMP appointment because I thought if they thought I was depressed and stuff like that, that they would send me to the loony bin. I was
You
so
what?
afraid to be inpatient hospitalized that I would lie. Oh no, even though I felt like shit, like depressed, sad, anxious, and all of that, I honestly thought that they would just automatically, at first glance, throw me to a level one. That's why for years I was never honest with any of the doctors because I was so afraid that they were gonna. Because I used to hate hospitals, and
Yeah, dude.
well,
Yeah, I don't
so
like them
that's
either.
why I lied because I was so afraid of being.
You
Of
didn't want to go to the loony bin, or you did?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah, for sure.
one flew over the cuckoo's nest. That was the
Yeah,
first thing that drew to me
yeah.
on us for a hospital. So that's so up until recently, I lied. And now I'm at this point where I have a good relationship with my BHMP. And so I can, of course, be honest, but I'm one of those, am
What does
I
that
like with anxiety?
What does that stand for all the uneducated people like me?
Behavior, health, medical.
Okay.
BHMP is behavioral health medical provider
Okay. Okay.
instead of just a regular medical doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, I've noticed that so with her we've established I've been with her for a couple of years. So we kind of know, she knows me, and because I
Yeah.
work
You've built up a rapport with
exactly
her.
well, she worked at the same company as me.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So like there was that
Familiarity.
familiarity because I would bring patients in and she would see that would be their doctor too. So yeah. Anyhow, so but different doctors, and most of the time I'm in and out in like 3 minutes because it's a constant because I'm on what I need to be. But this is what I wanted to get into really quick is
Yeah.
the anxiety. Is
Yeah.
do I really need SSRIs for anxiety, or am I just not handling it in a way I should be? Now, let me go one step further. Like when I'm like when I'm at work and there was like an extreme like issue, I don't like you're in this mode where you got to take care of stuff. So I wasn't even thinking about, oh, I need to take this med. I just need to get this done. And then after it's done, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. So that was the other thing of like, okay, I can work through it, but it's the once you learn yourself and you know where you'll actually run over the wave is at the point of okay, if you can do it right before, you don't have to actually yourself, you don't have to go over.
I think there's different levels to it though, because you can be so anxiety ridden of a person that you have uncontrollable panic attacks that just kind of happen and then they're hard to get out of.
100 no 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 100%. That's why a lot of like I don't have an extreme anxiety issue. I just have it. And how much do I put in my own head?
Yeah, I
Another thing,
mean,
how much do I let get to me? So
well, that's like
I
an
know.
overthinker's anxiety. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. So I mean, I know I have bipolar 2, and I have anxiety disorder, and alcohol abuse and alcohol dependency. So those are my 3 F codes. So I already know all of that, but over the years and stuff, you just learn, especially being in this field, as I mentioned before, you just learn as much as you can from other patients, and you're like, okay, so this works, that works. You put it in your head, and then you teach. Like, I would do groups and everything, and I started. You're supposed to be the main person that's sane, right? And you're doing these groups to other people, and you're thinking like, dude, they're all talking and they're telling
Well,
you these stories.
it's debatable. I mean, I don't know if anybody's sane.
Well, nobody's actually
I
saying.
think people lead on that they're sane, but I think
I
at the end
lead
of the
on that I'm a
day,
nut.
look at all these billionaires. They're all whacked out. You know what I mean?